In the sweltering jungles of Bougainville, amid the chaos of World War II's Pacific theater, one Marine sniper turned a simple soup can into a deadly weapon of deception. When a U.S. sniper's soup can trick-killed 112 Japanese, this lasted 5 deadly days. It was November 1943, and the Solomon Islands were a brutal battleground. The 3rd Marine Division had landed on Bougainville on November 1st, facing fierce resistance from the Imperial Japanese Army's 17th Army, under Lieutenant General Hiroyoshi Hyakutake. Entrenched in dense foliage, Japanese snipers from the 23rd Infantry Regiment inflicted devastating losses, their Type 97 rifles picking off Americans from hidden perches. The air hung heavy with humidity, the ground a quagmire of mud and roots. Little did the Marines know, one man's ingenuity would shift the tide in a forgotten corner of this hellish campaign. Staff Sergeant James Robert Mackenzie was no ordinary Marine. At 22 years old, hailing from the rugged forests of rural Oregon, Mackenzie brought a lifetime of skills to the battlefield. His father, a U.S. Forest Service Ranger, had taught him the art of mirror signaling during long hikes in the Cascade Mountains, flashing light across valleys to communicate without words. 6 years of elk hunting honed his patience and marksmanship, skills sharpened further at Marine Corps Boot Camp in San Diego. By 1943, Mackenzie was a scout sniper attached to the 3rd Marine Regiment, 3rd Marine Division, armed with an M1903A4 Springfield rifle fitted with an Unertl 8X scope, capable of lethal accuracy up to 800 yards. The strategic situation on Bougainville was dire. Following the grueling Guadalcanal campaign, which ended in February 1943 with over 7,100 American casualties, the Allies aimed to neutralize the Japanese airbase at Rabaul by securing Bougainville. The island's Empress Augusta Bay became the landing site, but the Japanese countered with ferocious ambushes. Snipers, camouflaged in coconut palms and banyan trees, achieved a staggering 3-to-1 kill ratio against U.S. forces. Each sniper tied down platoons, wasting precious time and resources in the race to build airfields. Mackenzie's personal stake deepened on November 8, 1943. During a reconnaissance patrol near the Piva River, his spotter, Private First Class Anthony Delgado, a 19-year-old from Los Angeles, raised his head just a fraction too high. A single crack from a Japanese Type 99 Arisaka rifle echoed through the undergrowth. Delgado slumped forward, a 6.5mm bullet through his helmet. Blood soaked the fern-covered ground as Mackenzie dragged his comrade's body back 300 yards under sporadic fire. The loss burned in Mackenzie's chest. Delgado had been more than a partner. He was a friend who shared stories of home during endless watches. That night, in a foxhole lit by a shielded flashlight, Mackenzie stared at an empty K-ration tin, a humble soup can discarded after a meager meal. An idea sparked. Drawing from his signaling knowledge, he envisioned using the can's reflective surface to mimic American communications, luring curious Japanese observers into the open. He approached his commanding officer, Captain Raymond Foster of Company K, 3rd Battalion, 3rd Marines. Foster, a veteran of Guadalcanal with shrapnel scars across his arm, listened intently. "If it works, Sergeant, it could save lives," he said, approving a small 4-man security team and granting Mackenzie operational freedom. The stage was set for an unconventional gambit in the heart of enemy territory. As dawn broke on November 9, 1943, the first day of Mackenzie's operation, the jungle stirred with the calls of exotic birds masking the distant rumble of artillery from the beachhead 5 miles away. Mackenzie and his team, Corporals Ellis Thompson and Harlan Webb, plus Private Samuel Ortiz, crept forward 800 yards from the American lines, into a no-man's land thick with vines and towering hardwoods. The air was thick with the scent of rotting vegetation and cordite. Humidity clung to their olive-drab fatigues, sweat mixing with insect repellent. Mackenzie selected a ridge overlooking a suspected Japanese observation post, intelligence from aerial reconnaissance indicating elements of the 23rd Infantry Regiment dug in 600 yards distant. He gathered 5 empty tin cans, scoured clean with jungle dirt. Using his P38 can opener, rusted from constant moisture, he punched irregular holes and patterns, some for sharp flashes, others for diffused glows. Stakes fashioned from bamboo held the cans at varying heights, angled to catch the intermittent sunlight piercing the canopy. Paracord lines, salvaged from supply drops, connected to pulleys for remote manipulation, allowing Mackenzie to adjust angles from his concealed position 200 yards back. By 0600 hours, the setup was complete. Mackenzie settled into a ghillie suit improvised from local foliage. His Springfield rifle rested on a bipod of lashed branches. The team melted into the undergrowth, rifles at the ready, Thompson with an M1 Garand, Webb and Ortiz carrying Thompson submachine guns for close defense. At 0623 hours, Mackenzie tugged the first cord. The cans tilted, reflecting sunlight in a rhythmic pattern. 3 short flashes, 2 long mimicking Morse code for tactical signals, perhaps coordinating artillery. The Japanese response was swift. At 0704 hours, a solitary figure emerged from the foliage, binoculars in hand, a scout from the 2nd Company, 23rd Regiment. He crept forward 50 yards, drawn by the anomaly. Mackenzie's crosshairs settled on the man's chest. The rifle bucked with a muffled crack, suppressed by the dense air. The soldier crumpled at 520 yards, his Arasaka clattering to the ground. Adrenaline surged through Mackenzie as he chambered another round. Little did he know this was just the beginning. Mortars whistled in retaliation, 81mm shells exploding 100 yards short, showering the team with mud and leaves. They relocated swiftly, 400 yards laterally, hearts pounding. By noon, Mackenzie refined the system, adding drainage holes to prevent rainwater accumulation that could dull reflections. He deployed the cans in a triangle formation, suggesting a command post. The flashes resumed at 1230 hours. 2 more Japanese appeared, officers by their insignia, investigating the signals. Mackenzie dropped them both within minutes, at 480 and 550 yards. Fear gripped the enemy lines. Whispers of ghostly lights spread among the ranks. As the sun dipped lower, casting long shadows, a 4th kill came at 1600 hours. A sniper climbing a tree for better vantage, silhouetted against the sky. Mackenzie's bullet pierced his shoulder, sending him tumbling 30 feet. The day ended with 4 confirmed kills, but the psychological toll was mounting. Japanese diaries later captured would describe the unease. American devils summon light from metal spirits. Day 2 dawned on November 10th with a light drizzle, turning the ground into slick clay. Mackenzie expanded his arsenal, collecting 12 more cans from the company's mess. He strung them over a half-mile front, creating the command post gambit patterns implying a forward headquarters relaying orders. At 0815 hours, the light show began. Synchronized flashes suggesting radio antenna adjustments or mirror signals for troop movements. The first kill came at 0943 hours, a sergeant at 680 yards, his katana sword glinting as he fell. By midday, 9 more followed, scouts and observers lured out, their curiosity fatal. The team endured swarms of mosquitoes, the bitter sting adding to the tension. At 1300 hours, Mackenzie simulated artillery coordination. Rapid bursts mimicking fire requests. 3 Japanese emerged in quick succession, binocular scanning. Mackenzie's rifle spoke thrice in 90 seconds, bodies piling in the underbrush. Against impossible odds, the trick worked. Japanese commanders, fearing encirclement, diverted patrols to investigate. By 1700 hours, 17 kills that day brought the total to 21. The security team fended off a probing attack at dusk, Ortiz's Thompson chattering to suppress 2 advancing soldiers. Exhaustion set in, but sheer determination pushed them on. What happened next would test their limits. On November 11th, Day 3, the Japanese adapted. Random flashes no longer drew immediate response. Discipline held. Mackenzie sensed the shift, fewer movements, more caution. He escalated to the panic pattern. 19 cans over 3/4 of a mile, erratic flashes implying chaos, perhaps an impending assault. At 0900 hours, the deception paid off. A platoon leader emerged with aides, gesturing animatedly. Mackenzie took him at 620 yards, then 2 more in the confusion. By 1400 hours, 23 kills mounted, the jungle floor littered with unseen corpses. The air grew thick with the metallic tang of blood and gunpowder. At 1,630 hours, a bold pattern prompted repositioning. 8 kills followed, including officers whose loss sowed command disarray. The total reached 49. Japanese morale cracked, soldiers refused orders, diaries noting the lights mock us, drawing death. Day 4, November 12th, brought relentless rain, visibility dropping to 400 yards. Mackenzie's cans, now 23 strong including ammunition tins, gleamed through the downpour. He incorporated sound, team members rustling leaves or whispering faintly, adding auditory bait. Kills slowed initially, but persistence yielded 28 more by evening, pushing the tally to 77. A close call came at 1,500 hours. A Japanese countersniper spotted a can, firing wildly. Webb returned fire, covering their retreat 150 yards. The crisis loomed. Adaptation threatened the trick's efficacy. By the afternoon of Day 4, everything seemed lost. The Japanese, under Major Hiroshi Tanaka of the 23rd Regiment's Intelligence Section, had deciphered patterns. Captured later, his orders revealed, ignore false lights. Authorize only senior reconnaissance. Snipers repositioned in deeper cover, their Type 97 rifles with 2.5x scopes scanning for Mackenzie's team. Mortar fire intensified, 60mm rounds bracketing their positions with deafening blasts, shrapnel whistling through the trees. Mackenzie's team hunkered in a shallow depression, the bitter cold of the tropical night seeping in despite the humidity. Wait. No, it's humid, but exhaustion chilled them. Rain pounded relentlessly, turning foxholes into pools. Ortiz nursed a grazed arm from earlier skirmish, blood mixing with mud. Thompson whispered doubts. They're onto us, Sarge. We can't keep this up. Fear gripped the men. Isolation weighed heavy, the nearest friendly lines 1,000 yards back through enemy-infested jungle. At 0200 hours on November 13th, Day 5, a Japanese patrol stumbled perilously close, 50 yards away, their bayonets fixed on Type 38 rifles. The team held breath, hearts thundering like distant thunder. Webb's finger tensed on his Garen's trigger. The patrol passed, oblivious, but the near miss underscored vulnerability. Dawn revealed fortified enemy positions. Observers stayed hidden, snipers trading shots with Marine patrols elsewhere. Mackenzie surveyed the scene from a concealed vantage, his scope fogging in the moisture. Japanese numbers swelled, reinforcements from the 6th Division. Estimates put 200 fresh troops in the sector. The trick's allure waned. Only sporadic investigations occurred, met with caution. By 1,000 hours, just 5 kills, the lowest yet. The impossible situation crystallized. Without adaptation, the operation would fail, exposing the team to annihilation. The human cost mounted. Memories of Delgado haunted Mackenzie, the young man's final gasp, eyes wide in shock. Command decisions weighed. Foster radioed via a portable SCR-300, urging withdrawal if risks escalated. But retreat meant abandoning the gains, allowing Japanese snipers to resume dominance. The jungle closed in, vines like snares, the roar of howler monkeys mocking their plight. Sheer willpower faltered. One more push or all lost. In that moment of despair, Mackenzie's heroic decision ignited the turning point. Drawing from his Oregon roots, he recalled hunting decoys, not just visual, but multisensory. "We need to make it real," he told the team, voice steady despite fatigue. They expanded the deception. 23 tin cans augmented with 12 ammunition cans, strung over a mile-long front. Paracord networks allowed complex manipulations, holes punched in Morse-like codes for authenticity. But the innovation, theatrical elements. The security team simulated activity, faint voices in English, rustling maps, even clinking dog tags, audible just enough to carry on the breeze. At 1,100 hours, the full orchestra began. Light patterns suggesting major reinforcements, sounds implying hurried preparations. A company commander patterned steady flashes with pauses, drew out high-value targets. The Japanese bit. At 1,130 hours, a lieutenant emerged with binoculars, flanked by aides. Mackenzie's first shot at 590 yards felled him. Chaos ensued. 11 kills followed in the morning routine, scouts exposing themselves. Afternoon escalated. At 1,400 hours, rapid panic flashes prompted mass repositioning. 16 more dropped, including a captain at 710 yards, his fall captured in Mackenzie's scope, body arching in surprise. The breakthrough came at 1,515 hours. Simulating artillery spotting bright, repetitive bursts lured Major Tanaka himself, identifiable by his insignia. At 640 yards, through light rain, Mackenzie squeezed the trigger. The 30-06 round struck true, collapsing the enemy command. Defenses crumbled. Panicked retreats exposed more targets. By 1,700 hours, 35 kills that day sealed the operation. Against all odds, ingenuity triumphed. The weight lifted. The team's spirits soared amid the grim tally. Mackenzie's determination, born of loss and resolve, had overcome the impasse. What happened next would become legendary in Marine lore. The operation concluded on November 13, 1943, with 112 confirmed Japanese kills, 98 verified by secondary observers, including 61 intelligence personnel and 17 officers. Mackenzie's hit rate stood at 94%, all at ranges over 500 yards, with 0 misses. Japanese losses extended beyond bodies. Over 400 man-hours wasted, reconnaissance degraded by 75%. The 23rd Regiment's sector faltered, allowing Marine advances toward the airfield. Casualties on the American side were minimal, Delgado's death the catalyst, Ortiz's minor wound the only other. Captured documents revealed the psychological devastation. Tanaka's diary described supernatural American tactics, soldiers gripped by paranoia, refusing night patrols. Historical significance rippled outward. By January 1944, Mackenzie's techniques disseminated across Pacific units, polished metal plates becoming standard in sniper kits. He trained 350 snipers at Camp Pendleton, emphasizing psychological warfare. In March 1945, Mackenzie received the Navy Cross for extraordinary heroism and innovative tactics that saved countless lives. The citation praised his unwavering courage against superior numbers. The Bougainville campaign ended in Allied victory by March 1945, with over 18,000 Japanese dead. Mackenzie's story, declassified post-war, influenced modern deception doctrines in Vietnam and beyond. He returned home, teaching history in Oregon until his death in 2004 at 83. A quiet hero whose soup can trick embodied the triumph of human spirit over adversity. This was just one of countless untold stories from the Second World War. Subscribe to the War Archives as we continue to bring these forgotten chapters of history back to life.